Good morning, Achieve Charter School. It is Friday, April 23rd. So good to be here today. Can you all stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance? Please stand at attention. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you can have a seat, show a good slant. Make sure you don't have anything out. You're not playing with anything. We've been talking about self-awareness all week. Being aware of your body and space. Being aware of what's going on the inside of your body. Today I want to take you back to what we talked about very first about self-awareness early in the year, which was a thing about like meeting your goals, right? So my question for you today that I want you to discuss for just a minute, but just pause me and bring me back because I want to talk more. But here's your first question you can talk about. Once you dig in and think about yourself and you're thinking about what goals you want to achieve and what you want to do, is it better to work on your strengths, like the thing that you're best at, or do you need to work on your weaknesses? Okay, so what's better, working on your strengths or working on your weaknesses? You can discuss and then bring me off pause. Oh, I almost actually paused it. I'll count down and then you can bring me back. Nice job. I hope you had a good discussion. Like, what's better, working on your strengths or working on your weaknesses? Well, it was actually kind of a trick question because here's what you got to do. You got to really think about your goals and you really got to go inside. And then to really do amazing things in life, you really have to build on your strengths. Okay? So if you want to be amazing, you'll have to build on your strengths. You're going to have to spend time working on those things that you're already are awesome at and make sure you're even better at those. But to be really amazing, you're going to have to work on your weaknesses too. Here's what wouldn't work. You can't, it would be almost impossible to take the thing that you are the worst at and make yourself one of the best in the world at that thing. There's a few examples where people have done that. You would have to have incredible focus and probably really love that thing and have a passion for it. But you also can't just practice your strengths and not address your weaknesses, because otherwise your weaknesses will take you down. I have a fun example that I want to show you about that this morning. So in the 90s and early 2000s, there was this incredible basketball player named Shaquille O'Neal, and he just dominated, right? He was huge. He came out of college ginormous, okay? There have been other guys his height before. He was 7 feet tall. So you can't even see my hand. If he was here with me right now, and I'm 6'2", right? I'm a pretty good sized guy. If he was in here with me in my office, you couldn't see his head, right? The video screen would be cutting him off at his shoulders. And a lot of really tall guys that played in the NBA before him were super tall, but really skinny. But he had worked out a ton. So he was tall and he was crazy buff. But then the other thing was, he was crazy fast. So a whole bunch of other really tall guys were really tall, but they were slow and they were just going to move down the court slow. And then when they get there, they're going to be giant and they're going to get rebounds and make some close shots. But he was crazy fast. And then he could jump. So okay, this was a huge problem for the NBA because he's taller than everybody. He's stronger than everybody, faster than most of the players, jumps higher, but he was already taller, but he also could jump higher. He just flat dominated. I want to show you a little video of some of him dominating a little bit. So there he is. There's young Shaq. Okay.
44-43. O'Neal tries the baseline and runs out of real estate.
He just dunked it over him.
Falling away.
Right?
Go.
But look at this.
Rebound
He's ginormous, but he takes the ball court to court.
Again.
No giant guy can do that. How about I just dunk over you? Or how about, you know what? Why don't you try to make a basket? Okay. You try to make a basket? Sorry. The other teams can't even make a basket. He just crazy dominated. Here's another thing he did that was just that he was super famous for breaking the basketball hoops. This is how big and strong he was, right? He broke the courts. They had to start making stronger courts. They actually had to start finding him for doing this too. So check this out. There's a broken hoop. All right, but watch the next one. So it's okay. So he created this giant problem in the NBA. He's unstoppable. The basket hoop itself can't even stop him. He just rips it to the ground, right? He was huge and strong. So all the other teams are trying to like brainstorm, like, what can we do? How can we stop him? Let's try to not let him get the ball. Well, that didn't work. His teammates just threw the ball over everybody's head, and he just caught it way up higher than everyone. Okay, let's try to not let him get near the basket. That didn't work. He's like 300 pounds, but just like muscle. He just push you out of the way and go where he wants, right? So they started breaking down film. They got their coaches involved. What can we do? And they found out he was like that dragon in the old-fashioned stories that had like impenetrable armor, except he was missing one scale on his belly. And if you could shoot your arrow into that scale, you could beat him. But Shaq's scale that he was missing was like crazy easy to hit, right? Because he couldn't make free throws. Here's a video of Shaq trying to shoot a free throw.
Late in the season, corresponding with this love fest that has broken out here at Staples.
Playing, right? He's famously bad at shooting free throws. So if you're not a basketball fan, here's what happens. Every time Shaq gets the ball, you just walk up and hit him. You don't have to stop him. You don't have to block his shot. Anything. You just hit him. You get a foul, but now he has to try and go shoot free throws, and he can't even come close to making them. He never gets to score any points, and you beat him. And every team started beating him. They dominated him. Now, as you're thinking about this, like, how can I work on my strengths and just make my strengths better than everybody else, but also fill those weaknesses? I want to tell you this. The way Shaq overcame that was by talking to a mentor. And I know that sounds like super cheesy, but he actually did. His mentor's name is Phil Jackson. He's like a guru. Phil Jackson came in. Shaq actually had to overcome this, had to go to a different team, all right, and play a totally different style of basketball. He got a little bit better at free throws, but he was never great. But his mentor helped him realize that you could play basketball in a different way. And once they did that, and they put him with a team that surrounded him well, and he had a good mentor, they crushed it. They won like 6 championships. It was insane. So anyways, think about that. That was a super long morning assembly. You probably don't have any time to discuss. But think about that as you're being self-aware. You got to work on your strengths and on your weaknesses to be amazing. And you got to have a good mentor that can help guide you through that. Have a good day, Achieve. Bye.